Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be a story time of how I found out I had PCOS, the symptoms, and kind of what happened in between. But before I start, this top that I'm actually wearing right now, I don't know if you can see, but it's from Primark. It wasn't actually that pricey, it was like £3, and I never actually wear blue, I always wear black, but it actually looks really nice on me, so I think I'm going to start wearing other colours. But anyways, before I start to get into this story time, I just want to say, if anyone can relate, I'm not really impressed with GPs anymore, like especially the doctors. Like, they just keep messing us around, like they don't take us seriously, and this is like a serious condition, but no one is taking us seriously. They're literally just thinking that we're just over dramatic and all this kind of thing, and I'm just not here for it. But anyways, let's get into the story time. So where should I start? Oh, I've got some notes, so if you see me looking to the side or anything, I've just got some notes if I get lost or whatever it was. But yeah, so I'm gonna set the scene. So actually, before I get to where I set the scene, this actually started, actually I didn't know I had polycystic ovarian syndrome, or also known as PCOS. I think I had it for a while because my mum just kept looking at me weird, and I just thought, that's a bit odd, why is she looking at me like that? But you know what, let me just brush that off. And then I started noticing some changes with my I know this is a bit TMI, but with my period, I started noticing it got heavier for longer, and I was just like, that's a bit weird. And then there was this one day in college, I think my friends will remember this, but there was one day in college where me and a group of friends, we were sitting around in the canteen in college. We were just talking about something funny, and I literally started bursting out crying, like boo-hoo crying, and my friends were like, okay, that's a bit odd, like what's wrong with her? And I was like, oh, I don't know, I can't stop, like the tears are coming out, I can't stop crying. And they were like, oh yeah, and I said, oh, I think it's just like, I think I have some hormone issues maybe, because like literally I could be crying for no reason, like literally tears could come out of my eyes, like we could be talking about something happy, or you could make a joke or whatever it is, and my tears would be coming out of my eyes, and I was wondering why. Like I felt like that was really weird. And so so this is where it starts. So then there was one day, me and my family, we decided to go for Chinese. It was at this place called Lido Noodle Bar, which that's their old name because now it's changed hands. But yeah, it was called Lido Noodle Bar, and we decided to go and have some dinner there. So I think it was around, actually no, it wasn't dinner, it was lunch. We went to go and have some lunch there. So it was me, my mum, my brother, and my nan, and we were all sitting down. It was a very sunny day, it was a really nice day, nice weather, and we're eating and talking and chatting, and you know, just talking about our business, our day went, and everything like that. And then all of a sudden, my mom, like, she's talking, but she's looking at me again, like with that weird stare that she did before. And I was just wondering, I was like, she did that before, but like she didn't tell me why. And I was kind of a bit skeptical of why she did that, so I was just looking it just made me feel really uncomfortable, the way she was staring at me. Like, even though it's my mom, like that stare made me feel really, really uncomfortable. And then after like dinner was finished, I didn't ask her then, I kind of, when we had left and gone home, I kind of asked her, I was like, why are you staring at me like that? And she was just like, oh well, I saw some symptoms of I feel like you have this thing, because my friend at work, she was talking about how her daughter has it, and I think you may have this condition, and we should go and you have some symptoms of the condition she was talking about, and so I think we should go and get it checked out. And at that point I was like, what is it? And then she was like, it's something called Polycistic Ovarian syndrome. And I was like, at that point I actually never heard of it, and I was kind of a bit like, that's a bit odd. Like, I thought I was okay. Like, I actually thought that I had no issues, nothing was wrong with me, but you can never speak too soon. And then after that, I think it was the next week, we booked an appointment to the GP, and we went into the GP's office, well, the doctor's office, but you know what I mean. And she was just asking us, what can I do for you today? And I was like, my mum thinks that I have polycystic ovarian syndrome. And the lady was like, okay, well, we can't, like, what was the symptoms that you had? And I said, okay, well, I had irregular periods, periods that were lasting longer than 2 weeks, and mood swings, hair growth. I had a lot of like weight gain as well, especially the weight gain. Oh my gosh, the weight gain is actually really bad for me right now. But yeah, weight gain was like, ooh. And then she was like, yeah, okay, well, we can't really tell, like, if you have PCOS, and so we're gonna have to send you to do some blood tests, and then we'll send you off for an ultrasound afterwards. And then I was like, okay, so we booked all the blood tests. I went for my first blood test. I was really nervous, and well, I guess because it was my first time, but I was really, really nervous, and so I brought my nan with me, because she normally would come to me with like doctor visits or just anything in general. She would come with me because it would make me feel less nervous. So she came with me to the hospital, because I think I went to Barnet Hospital to do my blood work, and that one was actually okay. Like, I didn't have any problems. Like, the guy who did it was really, really good. Like, he didn't bruise me or anything. Like, it was just really, really quick, and that was fine. That was done. The next blood test that I had to do was with a different guy, and he actually bruised me like really, really badly. Like, it was blue and green under my skin, because he poked me like, literally, he poked me like 5 times, just to try and get a good vein. And for me, that was very traumatic, because I was like, like, it's not like he put any numbing cream on it. He literally just kept poking me with needles, and I was like, like, that just made me feel really bad. Like, you couldn't find a good vein. But anyway, that's besides the point. So we did the blood work, and then after that they told me, okay, well, now that you've done the blood work, can you book a blood test, book a blood test as soon as possible, not blood test, sorry, ultrasound as soon as possible, so that we can continue the, what's it called? So that we can continue seeing, to get the answer for if you have PCOS. And I was like, okay. So then I think it was about maybe 2 weeks, no, not 2 weeks, it was about maybe 3 or 4 weeks later that the blood test came around. But basically, I think you have to stop eating at a certain time, and I did, but then you're supposed to drink loads of water before your ultrasound, which I didn't drink that much, so that was a bad idea on my part, because when I got there initially, and they were ready for my appointment, the lady was like, no, like, we can't see anything, you have to drink more water and then come back. So we ended up having to walk to the canteen in the hospital, and get some, like, drink loads and loads and loads and loads of water. So what I did was I got a cup from the canteen, and there was little points around the hospital where they had like the little water machine that you can just like press the button and the water would come out into your cup. So I was doing that for a while, just drinking, and I was drinking. I think I overdid it, because at one point I was like, no, I feel really sick, like I feel like I'm gonna throw up, like I don't know, like I feel something, like something's wrong. And then all I know is a few minutes later I literally projectile vomited everywhere in that hospital. And then I was like, and then my nan was like, like, it's okay, like it happens. And then basically she went to go and call someone to come and clean it up. And one of the nurses that was walking by, she was like to me, are you okay? Like, you look really pale, like, or you don't look well, like, are you okay? You sure you're okay? You know, like, everyone was just looking at me worried because I looked really, really pale for some reason. And then after a while, the lady came out and she was looking for me, and she was like, oh, I thought you had left, so but let's do your ultrasound now. So then we got into the place where we do the ultrasound, and they put the jelly, I don't know I think it's called jelly, I'm not sure, but they put the jelly on your belly and your part. No, I guess it is on your parts because it goes on your parts, but anyway, you understand what I'm saying. And then, yeah, it was really, really cold. But the worst part about the ultrasound was when the lady was pressing the little probe thing that she was using, she literally pressed so hard on my bladder, like I thought I was about to pee on the table. I was about to pee myself, just because I wasn't allowed to pee before my ultrasound. So literally, because she was pressing so hard, I thought, oh my gosh, any minute now I'm going to pee. But thankfully I didn't. And the lady was she was just looking around, and then she was like, oh, well, it is confirmed that you have PCOS, there are some follicles on your ovaries and all blah blah blah. Well, I can't remember what else she said, but she said a whole bunch of things that I kind of just blanked out after she said PCOS. Like, that was a big shock for me. But yeah, she was like, yeah, you have PCOS, and you can speak to your GP about what to do next. And then I thought, okay, well, let's see how that goes. So after that day was finished, I think it was about a day after my birthday, we went to see the doctor again, back to my actual GP, and she had the results, obviously, and I was like, oh, well, what can we do to, like, get rid of it? And basically she said, oh, like, apparently there isn't any cure, but you can, like, manage your symptoms with, like, the foods you eat and, like, the exercise you do. So I was like, okay, but, like, how can I, like, what foods do I, like, what, I don't understand what foods to eat. And she was just like, oh, like, go on the internet, there's like there's information on there that is that's available that you can use. And I was like, okay, that's very helpful, isn't it? But anyway, then after that happened, let me think, what else? Oh, let me tell you something before I hop back into the story. This is a bit TMI, so if you don't want to hear this, skip this part. But basically, like, I know this is kind of embarrassing, but, like, I used to have accidents. And what I mean by accidents is basically, because my period was so heavy, like, I used to have to change, I still kind of have to change, like, maybe 5 times in the day. And it's not even like I'll have to, like, I'll put one in the morning, and as soon as I get to college I have to change it, and then change it again break time, then change it again lunchtime, and then change it again, because it was so heavy. It was just bleeding non-stop, and like the excruciating pain that I had to go through. Oh my god, I'm so thankful that I have medication that I can take so that it can get rid of like the pain and the cramps. It doesn't get rid of the well, it does, but it doesn't. It takes a while because of how heavy my period is. But the amount of accident, like the period stains and everything, like leaking basically onto my clothes, was so much in college. Like I couldn't, like I literally, there was one day I was so thankful that I wore black, because the amount of blood, I was literally like my leggings were drenched in blood. Like that's how bad it was, and I was so embarrassed. Like I had to go home in that. Like I felt so disgusting, but literally that's how bad it was. And like there was actually also one point where I think it was during the summer holidays when I was in college, and there was one day I woke up and I was feeling like in pain, like in so much pain, and I was telling my mum, I was like, oh, like I don't feel good, like this pain is not going away. Like I've tried to like rub my belly or like wrap up in some blankets, make sure like I'm comfortable, but it's just not working. Like this pain is getting worse and worse as time goes on. And she was like, oh, okay, I understand, like I can see it in your face, like you're in like so much pain, I can see. And so she gave me this, I can't remember what medication it was, but she gave me some medication plus some sleeping, I think it was like a sleeping pill or something. And she was like, oh well, what we're gonna have to do is take you're gonna have to take this and then go to sleep straight away, because once the sleeping pill kicks in, you can't move from here. So I had to take the pills and then go straight to my bed. And then I was doing that, basically going to sleep and then waking up in more pain, taking more medicine, going back to sleep, wake up in more pain, take medicine, go to sleep. I was doing that for about, I want to say 48 hours, because of how excruciating that pain was. And let me tell you, that was just an experience and a half. Like it was just, that was very hard for me. But yeah, that was just really, really hard. And to be fair, now, even though I went back to my GP not too long ago, actually, because I was not feeling too good, and I was just wanting to ask questions like, you know, about PCOS, and basically the lady was just like to me, oh, what you need to do to cure it is just lose weight. Like, if I'm losing weight already, what do you mean? Like, I need another answer from you. Like, I need help. Like, that's what I'm asking. That's what, like, but all she said was lose weight. How's that gonna like, yes, it's gonna manage my symptoms, but the PCOS and the mood swings and everything else, how am I supposed to manage that as well? Like, I don't understand. And it was just really frustrating, because like they don't give you one answer. It's just like 5 million other answers that they're going to give you, and then they expect you to understand what they're trying to say. Like, they don't take you seriously. Like, oh, you're just being over dramatic, oh, this, that. And it's like, you're not, because you're the one having to deal with this condition, and they're just sitting there supposed to help you, but they're not helping. They literally, I'm still in square one, trying to lose weight. There's certain foods that you can't have that, well, don't quote me on this, because I'm not like a dietitian or whatever it is, but yeah, there's like certain foods like dairy you're supposed to cut out or something like that. You're supposed to have like gluten-free and all this kind of thing. And for me, food-wise, yeah, I can do all the diets in the world, but I need something that's going to help me, and I don't have the answer yet to that, because, well, not many diets have been working for me. So if you have any like diets or anything, what you use or what you eat, please tell me. Anyone with PCOS, please help me. Like, DM me on Instagram or DM me in the comments or something to help me, because food situation, we don't know what's happening. But yeah, apart from that, the main symptoms that I did actually have, as I said in the beginning, was hair growth, which like under here, obviously I've shaved it now, but there was like lots of hair here, on your chest area, back sometimes. I didn't get the back, thank God. But it's just, you're just way more hormonal and just way more like, what's the word, emotional. Like my mood changes within a split second. Like, you can even ask one of my friends, like, they will tell you, like, I could be sitting there laughing with them, then I'll be crying, then I'll be so angry, then I'll be like, you know, like, my mood will change. Like, that's like it. They don't tell you how much your, like, the hormones affect you and how much this condition actually affects you personally, because even just with the fact that of hearing that I had PCOS, like, maybe a few months after I left college is when the depression hit. Like, it was really, really, really bad, and I just felt like, oh, like, what, like, why am I here, kind of thing. Like, why is this happening to me? Not why am I here, but why is this happening to me? Like, why am I having to deal with this condition? Like, why me, right? And then after a while, like, after talking to someone, I felt better. Like, I felt better having somewhere to talk about it with people who actually have the same condition. So if you feel like you're alone and you have PCOS, go to this app called My PCOS Stream, and basically you can just write. It's like a wall, and you can basically write how you're feeling, or like what's on your mind, and basically people will basically help. Like, they're not really like professional, or they know what they're talking about, but it just makes you feel that a little bit better, that you have someone that understands what you're going through. So yeah, if you do have a checkout of My PCOS Stream, you can download it onto your phone as an app, and then you can just use it from there. And they have loads of great ideas on there. Sometimes they have, you know, I think it was a recipe that I found on there, and loads of stuff basically. But yeah, for me, what the hardest thing for me was the hair growth, to be fair, and the hair loss, because you can see, like, I've lost basically all my hair here, and that's kind of hard for me because it's like, ugh. And, well, actually, technically, that's like the second hardest thing for me. The hardest thing for me is just the weight gain. Like, I've had so many people just criticizing me because of my weight. Now, that's not fair, because you don't understand what I'm going through at the moment. Like, I didn't want to have this much weight on me. I don't know how to explain it, but I didn't want to be the side, and then people are criticizing me for it. Like, I had one person say to me, oh, you can't control what you're putting in your mouth, and this blah 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 blah. And I'm just thinking, you don't, like, can you, like, think before you speak, because you don't understand what I have to go through. Like, there's a lot of hormones and everything to do with, like, he doesn't they don't understand what, like, they think we're faking it, like, oh, we're just over dramatic. Again, people think we're over dramatic just because they don't understand. They don't really have this condition, so they don't understand that it actually affects us more than they think. And people need to realize we're not faking it. Like, we're actually like, most of the time I'm so tired, like, tired, and they're like, yeah, most people are tired. Yeah, I get most people are tired, but like, just that feeling of fatigue, literally every day. If you've slept well, fatigue. If you haven't slept well, fatigue. Like, it's an ongoing cycle. If something else is the problem, like, there's a never-ending cycle, and it's just, one day there's a problem, the next day there's another problem, the next day there's a new problem. And at the moment, like I said, I'm not really here for the GPs, because they haven't helped me at all. Like, if anyone who has PCOS who's watching this video, please DM me. because I'd like to talk, because I obviously need some help, on just like diets, workouts, that kind of thing, so that I can actually at least manage my symptoms, because at the moment, between you and me, I'm feeling a little bit, you get what I mean. But yeah, to be fair, everyone is allowed to have their different ways to deal with it, but for me at the moment, I literally don't know. Like, I need some advice. So if you have any advice, please comment or DM me on Instagram at PCOS journey TO_MAMA. Please DM me, because we need some help, advice over here. But yeah, to sum up, hearing that I had PCOS kind of made me sad, and I'll tell you why it made me sad. It made me sad because there was a lot of infertility issues, and with trying to get like pregnant in the future, there's a lot of things that I have to consider before even trying to have a child, whereas other people, well, I mean, people do have their like problems that they do have, but I mean, for me, obviously with PCOS, there is a lot of things to think about, just because infertility is like kind of, I guess, the main thing, because if you're trying to be a mum, then obviously that sucks to hear that, you know, it may be harder for you to get pregnant. So for me, yeah, that was also hard for me to hear. I literally like cried for like 3 days straight, because I just thought, what if it never happens, right? But you can never think like that. Like, otherwise you're just putting negative energy out into the universe, and I just don't want to do that. I want a positive energy. So at the moment, I need some tips on foods and exercises so I can get the weight down, and just someone to talk to in general who understands what I mean and who understands me, or, well, to be fair, make new friends, because I need to make more friends. But yeah, if anyone, share this to anyone that has PCOS and see if they can, you know, relate, and if they do, you know, let them comment down in the comments. And yeah, so this is the story time on how I found out I had polycystic ovarian syndrome. Now that's all from me today. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.